I was told over and over that I wasn't welcome at any family party. Those words made me quiet more than any mean words ever could. My name is Amaranthe Solis. I'm 30 years old. And if you think you know how this story ends, you should wait and see. Do you know what it feels like to grow up with people who act like you don't even exist? My family was loud, perfect-looking, and very picky. They had a rule everyone followed, but no one said it out loud. To belong, you had to do everything right. Dress right. Talk right. Make them proud. If you didn't, you became invisible. By the time I was 17, I was like a ghost in my family. I only appeared in pictures when my mom needed someone to fill space. I thought time would make them kinder. It didn't. Birthdays passed without calls. My brother got married, and I wasn't invited. Thanksgiving dinners? We thought you were busy, they'd say. Busy was their polite way of ignoring me. When I left Ohio for a marketing job in Portland, I thought I could finally breathe. Being far away helped. I met people who didn't need me to be perfect. Friends who laughed loudly. Neighbors who brought soup when I was sick. Real people. Then I met Selim. He was quiet but loved me deeply. He didn't ask for reasons or explanations, just honesty. When he proposed under the Rain Bridge in downtown Portland, I said yes before he even finished asking. As we planned the wedding, part of me stayed cold. I didn't want to send invitations to the same family that had spent years pretending I didn't exist. Every RSVP would feel like charity. So I didn't send one. Not a single invitation. 2 weeks before the wedding, my cousin Eloria sent a voice message full of blame. You really think you can cut everyone off, Amaranthe? They are furious. You better fix this. I looked at my phone and smiled because I already knew exactly what I would do. That day, I was arranging wedding seating cards on the kitchen counter. I wrote the names of people who loved us, not just tolerated us. It felt like I was rewriting my own life story. Selim noticed my tight smile. Family drama again? He asked softly while rinsing coffee mugs. Not drama, I said. Just a ghost trying to RSVP. He didn't push me, and that's what I loved about him. He always respected my boundaries, but the universe has a strange sense of timing. By that afternoon, my phone filled with texts. Mom, you're being childish. This wedding is a chance to fix things. Dad, you think you're better than us now. Brother, you'll regret this stunt. I didn't reply, but I could feel the old fear creeping back. The fear that used to make me shrink, apologize, and explain everything. That night, Selim found me sitting on the floor, scrolling through messages I hadn't opened. He knelt beside me and brushed my hand. You don't owe anyone an invitation to your peace, he whispered. I exhaled. Maybe that's what I needed. Permission to choose myself. Still, curiosity won. I clicked on my mom's last voicemail. Her voice shook, but it sounded like practiced sadness. Amaranthe, you've always made things difficult. Your father's embarrassed. If you just apologize, we can fix this before people start asking questions. Fix this. That phrase hit me. They didn't want to fix things. They wanted control. They wanted to make me look like the bad daughter who had to come crawling back. That night, I opened my laptop and wrote one simple email. I scheduled it to be sent on the morning of my wedding. When it was sent, my family story ended exactly where it began, with truth they couldn't twist. The morning sun filled our apartment, shining on my wedding dress by the window. My phone buzzed nonstop with missed calls and voice notes. I ignored them. That email had already been sent. I could almost imagine my family reading it, their faces tightening as they saw the truth. I had written, I forgive you, but forgiveness doesn't mean you get access to my life. Some doors close quietly, some close forever. This wedding isn't revenge. It's freedom. Selim peeked from the kitchen, holding 2 mugs of coffee. You good? I smiled. Better than I've ever been. Then let's go get married. The ceremony was small. 28 people under fairy lights in a garden in Portland. The air smelled like rain and roses. My best friend Nimra adjusted my veil and whispered, You look like peace. For the first time, I bekaliameved her. But peace didn't last long. Halfway through dinner, Nimra's phone buzzed. She frowned. Amaranthe, your mom just posted something. Against my better judgment, I looked. It was a Facebook post of me as a child. Caption. Some daughters forget who raised them. Sad day for our family, but love always wins. Within minutes, relatives flooded the comments. Cousins, aunts, even church friends started pitying my mom and shaming me. The same people who hadn't spoken to me in years were suddenly heartbroken. Selim saw my face. Don't let them steal your moment, he whispered. I nodded, but I knew this wasn't over. That post and the storm it created meant I had to make one important call to end everything for good. The morning after our wedding, the world should have been quiet, like after fireworks. Instead, my phone looked like a battlefield. Hundreds of messages, screenshots from friends saying, "Your mom's post is blowing up." My private wedding had become her public pity parade. I sat at the breakfast table in my silk robe, staring at my phone like it was poison. Selim leaned on the counter. "She's trying to make you look like the villain," he said. I nodded. She's always been good at rewriting stories. Then came a message from Aunt Sorelda. "Amaranth, people are saying you're unstable. Maybe apologize and move on. Family's all you've got." Unstable. That word hit me harder than I expected. It was the same word my mom had used when I left home at 19, with just one suitcase. Not because she missed me, but because she lost control. I locked my phone and walked to the balcony. The air was cold against my bare feet. Selim came up behind me and wrapped his arms around my waist. "You don't have to fix what you didn't break," he said. I closed my eyes. "I'm not fixing it," I said quietly. "I'm finishing it." By noon, I had made up my mind. I called a local event coordinator who handled social media problems. "Hey, Orinthia," I said. "You still handle cleanups?" "Of course. Whose mess are we erasing?" I smiled. "Mine, but not in the way you think." The call wasn't about revenge. It was about truth. By the time my family realized what I had done, their own words would make them look worse than mine ever could. Orinthia didn't need much explanation. She'd seen my mom's post. "Classic manipulation," she said. "If you give me a few hours, I can trace every account sharing it. We'll see who's behind the storm." By late afternoon, she called back. I was in the living room, wedding flowers still in vases, my veil folded neatly on the sofa. "It's not random. Your mom has been sending screenshots and emails to a local blogger. They're making a story. She's trying to ruin your name." Orinthia's voice softened. "Not if we get ahead of it. You still have that photo collection from when she threw you out." I did. Years ago, after my mom told people I left ungrateful. I had saved the eviction notice, the text messages, even the police report she filed to lie about me. "Send them," Orinthia said. "We'll build your side." Calm, factual, professional. No anger, just proof. When I hung up, Selim was watching me. "You're really doing this," he said. "I'm done hiding." He nodded slowly. "Then do it right. Tell the truth. Not for them, but for you." So I did. I collected every photo, every screenshot, and every note from the past. The ones my mom tried to hide. The ones she tried to twist. The eviction notice taped to my door. The texts where she begged neighbors to call me ungrateful. The police report she filed claiming lies about me. Every little piece went into a single file. I wrote a message to the blogger and attached all the proof. I told the truth calmly, clearly, and without anger. I explained my side, exactly how my family had treated me for years, how they ignored me, and how they tried to control my life even as an adult. I wrote it so that anyone reading could see what really happened. By the evening, my inbox started filling with responses. People thanked me for being honest. Some expressed shock at what my family had done. Some said they'd seen things like this before, and that my decision to stand up for myself was brave. For the first time, I didn't feel small or invisible. I felt strong. Selim squeezed my hand. "See, this is the real you. The one they couldn't touch." I nodded. It felt strange and wonderful. Strange because I'd spent so long being quiet. Wonderful because finally I was seen, truly seen by people who mattered. I knew my family might never understand. That was okay. I had my life. I had my husband. I had people who loved me. That was enough. I didn't need their approval or their drama anymore. I sat on the couch with my laptop closed. Wedding flowers around me, a warm cup of coffee in my hand, and Selim sitting beside me. I finally felt what I had been looking for all my life, peace. The storm my mom tried to create could rage all it wanted, but it no longer touched me. I had told the truth, shared the proof, and stood up for myself. And for the first time in decades, I was free. I smiled at Selim. "Let's go on our honeymoon. No emails, no messages, just us." He grinned. "Just us. That's exactly how it should be." And for the first time in my life, I truly became it. I wrote a letter. It was long and calm. I sent it to the same blogger my mom had talked to before. I put in all my papers, Tim Calum's and photos. I told them I didn't want anyone to feel sorry for me. I only wanted what was fair. I wanted people to know the truth. I wanted my side of the story to be heard. Within a few hours, the blogger wrote back. They said, We looked at everything. Thank you for trusting us. The story will be updated. My heart beat faster. I had waited for this moment for a long time. It felt like a little light turning on after being in the dark. The next morning, the headline changed. It said, "Daughter speaks out. Family lies, love, and the price of silence." My eyes went wide. People would finally read the truth. The truth about what really happened. By noon, the comments on the story had changed too. People started to see the truth. They wrote that they could tell my mom had not been honest. My mom's fake sympathy could not hide her lies anymore. For the first time, when people stopped talking about me, it didn't feel like shame. It felt like peace. It felt like I could finally breathe. The next morning, my phone felt different. It was quiet. No more mean messages. No more pity messages. No more gossip. Just quiet. The kind of quiet that feels good and safe. I felt lighter, like a big weight had been lifted off my shoulders. But my mom was not done yet. Around 9 in the morning, she called from a number I didn't know. I let it ring, but she left a voicemail. Her voice shook with anger. She said, "You had no right, Amaranth. You embarrassed this family. Your father is humiliated. You will regret this." I listened to it twice. Not because it hurt me, but because it didn't. I realized her words no longer had power over me. I had grown stronger than the fear she used to give me. That's when I made a call I had been waiting to make. It wasn't to Arinthia or the blogger or even Selim. It was to my lawyer, Ms. Virali. She had helped me years ago when my mom kept showing up at my old apartment and causing trouble. "Hi, Virali," I said. "It's Amaranth. I need to update the rules on that old order." My family crossed a new line. Within minutes, she checked everything. My mom's mean posts, the public harassment, the photos she shared, everything. "You have a strong case," Virali said. "This isn't a family drama anymore. This is digital harassment and invasion of privacy." By noon, she wrote a legal notice. It was called a cease and desist order. It said if my family kept lying about me or sharing mean things online, we would press charges for defamation and emotional hurt. I signed it on the computer. She sent it to my mom and copies to my dad, brother, and Aunt Sorelda. An hour later, my phone buzzed. One text from my dad. "You didn't have to go this far." I stared at it, then typed back. "You should have stopped her before I had to." After that, nothing happened. No calls. No comments. No posts. Just the quiet fakealum of finally being free. The kind of quiet that makes you feel safe and strong at the same time. That night, Selim held my hand at dinner. "You okay?" he asked. I smiled, small but steady. For the first time in my life, I really felt okay. I felt like I could finally rest. 2 weeks later, the storm around my name was gone. The people who once whispered about me had moved on to someone else. Public pity disappears fast. It doesn't last. People get bored of hearing about someone else's problems. My mom never reached out again. Her silence didn't hurt like I thought it would. It felt deserved. I heard from a cousin that she deleted her social media after the blogger corrected her lies. My dad stayed away too. No apologies, no excuses, just avoiding me. For the first time, my world was quiet. I focused on my new life with Selim. We came back from a short honeymoon in Oregon. Our phones were off. No social media. No messages. Just the two of us together. Our hearts were calm, and for the first time, I felt really happy. Some nights, though, I woke up remembering old things. The sound of my mom calling my name. How I would always run toward it, hoping it meant love. But love, I learned, doesn't beg or demand. Love just stays. Love doesn't disappear when someone is scared or sad. Love doesn't ask for proof all the time. One evening, while unpacking boxes in our new apartment, I found an old photo. It was from when I was 10, a family picnic. We were all smiling, the sun shining, and everyone looked happy. For a moment, I wanted to keep it and remember the good times. But then I saw my mom's arm. It wasn't around me. It was around my brother. I was just there, standing alone. I put the photo in an envelope and mailed it to Virali, my lawyer. With a note, "Keep this for the case file." A reminder of where it started. Selim watched quietly. "Closure?" he asked. "Not yet," I said softly. "Almost." The next morning, I got an email from Claire, the PR specialist. Everything was cleared. My name was clean. She asked if I wanted to make a final public statement. I thought about it. I could tell everyone one last time that I was telling the truth. But I didn't. Some endings don't need an audience. Some endings just need to be quiet and real. But there was one last thing I needed to do. One conversation that wasn't about defense or justice. It was about letting go. And it would happen where my silence began. the place where I had felt the most alone. I drove back to Ohio on a gray Sunday morning. The sky was heavy with rain. The roads were familiar. They reminded me of every version of me that tried to belong, every version that had hoped for love and acceptance. I didn't tell anyone I was coming. I didn't need witnesses. I just needed silence. I needed to see the place one last time. The old house looked smaller than I remembered. The shutters were peeling. The porch sagging. A for sale sign swayed in the wind. My mom was gone. They had finally left the town that once defined us. Still, I got out of the car and walked to the front door. That same door my mom slammed on me when I was 19. The same one where she told me, "You're not welcome here anymore." I touched the handle and whispered, "Neither are you." In my hand was a single envelope. Inside was a copy of the legal notice Virali had sent and a short handwritten note. It read, "I release you not for you but for me. This story no longer owns me." I slid it through the mail slot and walked away. The rain started. Soft, steady, almost like it was washing everything clean. I felt it on my face, cold but refreshing, like the rain was taking away all the hurt from before. When I got back to the car, Selim texted, "You good?" I looked at the screen and smiled. "Yeah, it's done." As I drove away, the town blurred behind me. Streetlights shone through the rain like tiny ghosts waving goodbye. My reflection in the window didn't look like the girl who was never invited to belong. It looked like someone who finally invited herself into her own life. Back home, I put our wedding photo on the shelf. Not the edited one for social media, but the real one. Me and Selim are laughing while dancing. My veil tangled. Joy unpolished, but real. Not fake, not forced, just real. Sometimes healing isn't loud. It's quiet. Quiet like a heart finally resting. Quiet like knowing you've already won. Not because someone else lost, but because you stopped fighting for a story that was never meant for you. That night, I locked my apartment door. It stayed closed. I didn't look back. I didn't need to. The rain outside continued softly, and I finally felt peace. I finally felt free. I finally felt like I belonged, to myself, to Selim, and to my own life.